What's going on, guys? It's Dan Plucker over at Maize N Brew. We're going to be starting a new series here where I'll kind of be digging into some of the Michigan basketball performances this season. And in this game specifically, we're going to be looking at Michigan versus Virginia and that tight loss they had just a couple of nights ago. Basically, we're going to be looking at the offensive end for Michigan, what they did really well in the first half and how it kind of fell apart in the second. And this specifically is something they did really well in the first half on this play. And it's how they were beating Virginia's high hedge in the first half. I'll show you what I mean for the Virginia defense and also what Michigan was doing to succeed. So you'll see Llewellyn dribble off to the left here. Dickinson's going to set this screen and then slip. He's going to come all the way over here to the opposite block. And there's going to be a screen from Jet Howard here that's going to make this guy who's doing the high hedge, basically Virginia's high hedge. What they're looking for is to make this guard dribble the ball way too much. Either go all the way around and slow this screen and roll process or force him back baseline. You'll see Llewellyn kind of curl all the way around here, and he beats it that way. But now this guy, as I said, Dickinson's going to come all the way back to this block. He has to recover this full defense, and everybody else has to play help defense within that process. So let's kind of see how that play pans out. So as you can see, this guy is now set to recover. Jet Howard setting a screen. Howard's defender number 2 here has to help on Dickinson, and Llewellyn is in a chance, and he has a chance here to get the ball inside to Dickinson. It could probably come a little bit earlier, but he still gets it inside. Now Dickinson establishes, but a double comes. You have Terrence Williams cutting towards the middle, which means this guy now has to help again, and that's Buffkin's defender. Dickinson sees that. He's going to kick it out, and they're going to have a wide open three-point shot. And that confidence from the Michigan Wolverines from deep in this first half was a huge play, and Dickinson breaking out of the doubles and just doing a really good job of getting the ball established to him in the post was a huge reason why they were successful in this first half. Something that I absolutely loved from Michigan in the first half was how willing they were to shoot the three-pointer. And it's something that definitely didn't happen in the second half. One guy on this team we all know is not afraid to launch up a couple threes is that true freshman, Jet Howard. As you can see here, he's going to stop. Look at all 3 of these defenders here. They have a lot of room to cover. This ball has to get to him sooner. But Jet Howard still has the confidence to pull up, even though there's going to be a guy directly in his face, and he drills it. It's just a beautiful three-point shot. It's a quick one, but absolutely that's the kind of stuff that this Michigan offense is looking for, that confidence in shooting the basketball from deep. It's how they're going to win games this season. So as you'll see here, this is going to be a very similar play, but just to the opposite side for the Wolverines. So they're kind of going to get things set up here. And then Dickinson is actually going to come up closer to the midcourt right side, but it's going to be very similar. Look how much room this guy has to cover off of this high hedge that they're running. So Llewellyn gets around it again, maybe should have gotten a foul, kind of got hit in the face there. But as you can see, this guy now has to recover and help on Dickinson. This guy has to slide over as well. So he's going to have to run all the way back. So here Llewellyn's going to pass to Jet, and Jet's going to get it into Dickinson in the post. And look, again, how much room this guy has to take care of. He has to get reestablished. Dickinson's already there. This time the double doesn't come, and Dickinson just has the ability to reach up over the top of a smaller defender and nail the shot. Again, that play worked to perfection in the first half, and it's something we didn't see a lot of in the second. Another thing the Wolverines excelled at in the first half was there was a lot of penetration from their guards. Here you can see Hunter Dickinson set that screen for Jet Howard, and there's a lot of help defense from this Virginia team. It's how they're built with that high hedge. And you can see these guys overplaying defense, leaving Joey Baker wide open in the corner. Jet Howard has the opportunity to maybe take it up, but smartly kicks it out. That shows kind of the depth and experience that he is kind of gaining at this point already in his career. It's exactly what you want to see from a true freshman. And it results in 3 points for the Wolverines. It was a huge three-pointer there to get the lead back up to 6 after a Virginia run with Dickinson on the bench. Jalen Llewellyn and a lot of these Michigan guards are so much better from the three-point line when they're stepping into shots with confidence. And Llewellyn specifically on this play, you'll see, does everything right. And it doesn't start pretty. You'll see it's kind of a broken play off the bat, but he gets enough separation and he has a beautiful step back three here. So as you can see, he picks up his dribble. It's a little awkward here, but this little give and go from Jace Howard there gives him enough separation to get a little step back. He pulls up and he absolutely drains the three with confidence. That's what we want to see from the transfer point guard. We need to see more confident and open looks like he got there. Even though the play was a mess, he still had a clean and efficient three-point look, and he stepped into it with a lot of confidence and drilled it. We'll see some examples in the second half where that wasn't necessarily the case from some of the Michigan players. So this formation and play is a staple of Juwan Howard's offense. You're going to see a high double screen here from Hunter Dickinson and Jet Howard. And look, the separation that Llewellyn gets already from the guard there. That's a great crossover. Then Dickinson kind of slips here, but you still get the high hedge. And then another screen coming from Jet Howard on the guard. Honestly, Llewellyn needs to try to get that ball to Dickinson right now. And even there, look how much room there is between him and his defender. The ball should probably be trying to get there, especially because he could have target that inside hand. I know there's a help defender, but still that pass should probably be made already. And it kind of halts the offense. You see he has to swing it. It's good ball movement overall because it shifts the defense around, and then you just give the ball to your best player and let him go to work. Dickinson misses the first shot, gets the board over a smaller defender. They did so well in the first half of just getting the ball to Hunter Dickinson on the inside and letting him go to work. And it's a huge reason why they had such a lead in the first half and why Dickinson had, I believe, 14 first half points. All right, so for a bit we talked about the confidence in pulling up, and this is exactly what I'm talking about here in the second half, why things started to slip away from the Wolverines. First couple minutes, they actually played pretty well, but as you can see here, they still have a lead, 13 minutes to go. It's the standard screen, and there's one on either side actually here, but you'll see a great attack from Doug McDaniel. He'll kick it out to Kobe Buffkin. There's nobody near Kobe Buffkin right now. This guy is tripping into his own player. There is nobody around Kobe Buffkin. Look what he does. What? He kicks it back up to Terrence Williams. The extra pass sometimes isn't the right decision. Again, Terrence Williams, wide open. He takes the shot, but he's not as good of a shooter as Kobe Buffkin. It doesn't go in. Buffkin's shot in the corner is the much better shot in this situation. It just is. They get the rebound. Terrence Williams drops a ball on a bad pass from Dickinson. The play's over. That's a potential huge swing, putting the Wolverines back up 7. Instead, Virginia has a chance to make a comeback, and they do. All right, so this was kind of the real turning point of the game, and a lot of people on social media were pretty upset about it. Again, you can see the lineup here. No Jet Howard, no Hunter Dickinson in the game, and Jace is about to check in for Kobe Buffkin as well. And as you can see, the offense is just kind of out of sorts from the beginning. They're running the play off the bat, and then Doug McDaniel cuts, and he actually does make it through. He splits that defense this time, but he's just out of control, and a defender sets up, and he takes the charge. And so that kind of sporadic play is not good in this situation because obviously the charge happened. But Doug McDaniel overall, when he's attacking the rim, is when he's at his best. Unfortunately, he just was a little too out of control in this situation, and it caused a charge and a turnover for the Wolverines in this game. So this is the very next play actually out of the break, and good defense just kind of all around, and then you see this awesome swat, a chance at momentum after that great block from Reed, and the Wolverines come down on the other end. Terrence Williams gets the ball, and for the second consecutive possession, the Virginia Cavaliers pull a charge. It's exactly the kind of veteran team that the Wolverines should not be competing with, and that's exactly why. It's just a smart play from Virginia, and another bad mistake from the Wolverines in this situation. Okay, so on to possession number 3 with Hunter Dickinson and Jet Howard on the bench in the second half. This is the third consecutive play on the offensive end that I'm showing you. So again, a pass to Terrence Williams and a lot of standing around, especially around the perimeter. Doug McDaniel's dribbling too much, a pass over to Jace, who doesn't pull up in that situation, and then he starts backing down his defender, except Terrace Reed is right there. So it creates this awkward place for these four. The double team comes, Jace has nowhere to go, and it's a turnover. 3 straight possessions with a turnover from the Wolverines with less than 10 minutes to go. Not good when you're playing the number 3 team in the country. So starters are back in now, and their pocket of that 4-point lead, 5-point lead, 6-point lead they were kind of keeping has disappeared. And now we're going to see an offense that is a lot of dribbling and not a lot of getting the ball into the post. So Llewellyn dribbling the ball around, not a lot going on, not a lot of movement around the perimeter. Jet Howard stays in the top right corner the entire possession. Kobe Buffkin's holding onto the ball. Crossover, splits, goes between the legs, a pretty cool dribble, but doinks the shot. And it was a wasted possession there for the Wolverines. Again, a fast break opportunity for the Wolverines. Llewellyn's going to pass it to Williams, back over to Jet Howard eventually, and he's going to pull up with 21 seconds in the shot clock, a shot that he definitely did not need to take. With 5.5 minutes to go in the ball game, down 2 against the number 3 team in the country. That's just a possession you cannot have, and it's the true freshman showing that he's a true freshman in this situation. All right, guys, we've talked about it. Here's another example. It's like the Wolverines are afraid to take open looks. And they want to make sure that they keep this game as close as possible. So play here is kind of developing. It's another screen. Look, this defender now has 2 guys that he has to defend. Hunter Dickinson here and Kobe Buffkin all the way in the corner. So Llewellyn gets it in on a nice bounce pass, and there is absolutely nobody near Kobe Buffkin again in the corner. The ball gets to him, and he's not even looking to shoot the ball. He's looking to get it to Jet Howard. Admittedly, probably the better shooter, but Buffkin needs to be more confident in himself to take the shot from the corner. That's now twice that we've seen that situation because, look, the chance to recover was there now. A defender gets there, and then you're leaving Terrence Williams now with a 3-pointer, again, who recovers, and the play is now dead. And Terrence Williams winds up actually getting a decent shot and the foul. But, man, that 3-pointer there would have been huge for the Wolverines to kind of get back in this thing. Terrence Williams gets the line, only makes 1. So it's a potential 2-point difference there on this play for the Wolverines. All right, so again in the second half, just a few minutes left to go in this ball game. Big possessions here coming up for the Wolverines. And again, we're going to see this high double screen here. Hunter Dickinson's going to roll, and there's now a 2-on-1 set up on this side of the court. Kobe Buffkin dribbles around a little bit too much, thinks about getting it into Dickinson. Again, look how much space this guy has to recover. And even here, Llewellyn in the corner, absolutely wide open, and a screen here. Instead, Kobe kind of hesitates here. What I would have done is pass it out to Baker and now get it into Dickinson, let him establish in there like we've seen. Instead, we're going to reverse it to the other side. Terrence Williams gets the ball. Dickinson does get set up. The double comes, and he just reacts too quickly. This guy's baiting him, and he winds up forcing the turnover, and it's a lost possession for the Wolverines. Okay, so this is another possession that I don't really get for Michigan. A minute and a half left in the game. If they score, they have a 3 or 4 point advantage, and they don't really get to their bread and butter that they've been doing all game of getting Dickinson the ball in the post. You're going to see Jawan not be very happy here. So Hunter has this positioning here on the inside. It's looking pretty good if they can swing the ball and get him that ball on the interior, because this defender for most of the second half has been fronting Hunter, trying to not let him get the basketball. So you'll see a little bit of a swing here, but Hunter is off-ball screening. I don't know if this was something that Hunter did incorrectly or what's going on in the situation, but you'll see Jawan right here. He's not very happy. He said, "What are you doing?" So now they set this screen here, and eventually the ball does get inside into Hunter, but It's a running hook shot from a 7'1" center. Not really the look that you're looking for. They need to have a play or some sort of play in this situation where they know they're going to get a good look, where they know they're going to have an opportunity to score. While this wasn't a bad look necessarily for Hunter, there's certainly better opportunities, and it's not one that we typically see him in this situation, scoring the basketball. All right, so kind of a similar situation here. Game's on the line. Now they're down 1 after the Virginia possession. They need a bucket. They need a play that is going to result in a score. And unfortunately, it does not come. They set up a play down on the inside. It's their bread and butter again. It's that double screen. Dickinson slips a little early here, but it's covered well. They kind of see it coming. This double happens here. Now he's getting to recover in that situation. They swing it back up to Terrence. Terrence is supposed to get it here to Jet Howard, and it's supposed to be a two-man game with Michigan's best players. And that swing, you can see Dickinson has that inside advantage now with his left hand available too. He's left-handed. They're on the left side of the basket. They want to get Hunter the ball in this situation to let him score or to seal and let Jet run baseline to put in an easy basket to give them the lead again. As you can see, Terrence turns and passes it back immediately. Look at the expression on Juwan Howard's face right now. He is livid that is the situation. Look at Hunter. He's pointing at Jet Howard. This ball was supposed to get into Jet Howard's hands, and now Jalen Llewellyn is in a situation where he has to force it because there's 10 seconds left on the clock. So he dribbles. They're still trying to establish this play, and they get into the point where Jalen makes a mistake, and the defender is smart, picks off the pass, and the game is basically over, or should be if Virginia hits their free throws. No, they don't, and we'll get to that in a minute. All right, then we got the last play of the ball game. And as soon as Juwan Howard called timeout with Armand Franklin on the line to try to ice him for this final shot, I was concerned. And you have such a young team out there, a team that has not been playing well, a team that has not been setting offense up by any means for these last couple of minutes. And instead you use your final timeout to ice the free throw shooter. What he could have done is set up a play here after this miss, which does happen. Even if he would have made it, it's still a 3-point game. You have an opportunity to call timeout and try to get something set up. Instead, now 5 seconds left, you don't have anything set up, and your only hope is Jet Howard trying to draw a foul, which he doesn't. And I know some fans, Jet, Coach, Janine, every single person in the Howard family and on the Wolverines thought that was a foul. I don't think it was. It was desperation, and it was a situation where it shouldn't have even happened. Michigan should have won this basketball game, and the offensive collapse late in this game and without Hunter Dickinson and Jet Howard on the court were the problem. And Juwan Howard has stuff to figure out with this basketball team and with himself as a head coach. He's a good head coach. He's not a great one yet, and it's because of follies like this where the offense just kind of disappeared and where in some of the biggest moments of the game, late in the game, you don't have your two best players on the court, and it costs you. Multiple turnovers from the second unit in this game, especially late, and allowed Virginia the opportunity to get back in this game and eventually win it.